I hope people were actually making cocktails along with us. I hope you've enjoyed that. And I hope you get to enjoy what we have coming up next for you, because this is something that's super exciting that everybody gets to take part in. We've talked about blind tastings before in the podcast. We've talked about, how do you take away the, I guess you could say, like the stigma or the way that you think about a whiskey when you look at a label, and how you can really take away a lot of the premonitions that you'd have by just drinking it and not knowing what's in there. So this is going to be a great opportunity to introduce our next guest. So we have Chad and Sarah. So Chad and Sarah run the infamous YouTube account called It's Bourbon Night. So I will let them go ahead and take it away. Chad and Sarah, it's all yours.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kenny. And yeah, you said it best there. It's just taking the preconceived notions or the labels or
the marketing,
or noticing that the backlight is in the frame. Daggone it.
Oh.
It's live, everybody. That's
live. What happens. But yeah, no, I agree. When we started doing the show about 4 years ago, that was one of the things that we were most interested in was, we're coming into this with these ideas of what we like to drink. But is that really what we like to drink? And then we found that, you can group whiskeys together and find the best in a category that you prefer. So maybe you don't need to spend that extra $20 because maybe you really do like the cheaper option.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's just a way of doing that. But I guess we should get into kind of the behind the scenes on how we do our flights.
Here's kind of the deal. Normally, if you've seen a flight fight, if you haven't, our YouTube channel, It's Bourbon Night, plenty of flight fights on there as playlists. They normally take around 16 to 20 minutes, and that's for an edited episode.
Right.
So having 30 minutes here, we're not going to be able to get through what we normally do, but
it's
we are going
to
talk. Yeah, type 30. We are going to talk about why we do everything. We are going to do around here, and we are going to crown a winner.
That's right.
Here at the end. So we want to talk about, first of all, is the glassware here.
Sure.
Now, you don't have to have all Glencairns, but we do recommend you have all of the same glassware. Like,
right.
What is wrong with this picture, Sarah? If we had 4...
Well, I'm going to know what I put in the red Solo cup.
That's one. And then 2, that experience is going to be different from this experience. Right. It's different from a shot glass or a Copita or what have you. So
we go all Glencairns.
We do go all Glencairns. And this, branded. Whiskeyambitions.com is where you can get these, but
shameless plug.
The Drink More Bourbon Glencairn is going to be for me. The Bourbon Night's going to be for Sarah. So there's no mixing. We don't have them to where then we can remember, that Wild Turkey was in a Bourbon Night, so it's this one.
Right.
You just want to take any
visual cues out, which is why you're also going to want to use jiggers so that you can pour to the same level, so that you're not like, that one's going to be that one was higher poured, or that's going to be tougher when you get into some darker bourbons. You kind of just got to try to not pay attention to that if you can't.
And you could always put, sticky notes around it if you don't want to see the color. If you want to go to that level,
get real creative with it.
Of course, we use 4 because we don't want to wash them. 4 separate ones, so there's no cross contamination. We're trying to be like as scientific as we can. Right?
As scientific as we can.
Right.
You're also going to need some stickies that can be. We use these dots. You can get them at pretty much any store that sells office supplies. So or you can cut a Post-it if you're at home and you don't have stickies.
Well, look at that. Now it's a sticky note. You cut it into 4s. Boom. Craft segment here, Sarah.
Right.
Craft
I like
segment.
it.
All right.
And then we do A, B, C, and D. We recommend generally like 3 to 5 bourbons or whiskeys per
We've been
flight.
drinking along with you guys.
Right. More than 5, you're not going to be able to differentiate at a certain point. So 4 is our magic number. A, B, C, and D. It becomes real tricky if you try to use 1, 2, 3, 4, because you'll be like, my bourbon 3 is 1 and my bourbon 4 is 2, and you don't like that. So
no.
A, B, C, D.
Not good.
So what we already have done is we've already poured an ounce of each of the bourbons into these glasses.
That's also a magical number. Would not recommend like 1.5 ounces or 2 ounces of these. I know people think, but I want to go back and keep tasting and tasting. Well, there goes your tongue. I'm sorry.
And at a certain point, you're just drinking.
At a certain point, you're just drinking. Well, nothing wrong with that, Sarah.
Right.
So we do have, and we can go ahead and look because these are in order that we know. We have Wild Turkey written on our dot underneath here.
So we've already got our dots assigned. So
4 Roses, Evan Williams Bottled and Bond, and Jim Beam Black. This is actually a sequel to a flight fight we did about a year ago. It was called Distillery Entry Level Offerings. So for the sequel, we've gone one up. So our Wild Turkey 81 turned into 101, so on and so forth down. Now,
You with us?
let's go ahead and clear some working space here.
All right. Now here comes the fun part.
Yes.
This is the part where it's great to have two people because you can mix them up for each other. So usually Chad will mix them. Whatever you do to one set, you do to the other set. And then he'll turn around and I'll mix them and then we'll label them. If you don't have someone that can do that for you, you can put them all on a lazy Susan.
Visual aid.
Visual aid. You can put them all on don't you knock anything over.
So you would space them out evenly. Again, no visual cues. Look away, give it a spin, or keep spinning it while you're looking away. And
cool.
Then that's how you would do it by yourself.
That's how you could do it.
Okay. So Sarah, I'm going to let you mix these up. I'm going to go move this because it is bugging me. But that way I won't be looking.
Okay, that sounds good.
Oh, no. Oh, the lazy Susan. I'm okay. Not looking. How's that?
Whoop.
Is that out of frame?
Yep.
Okay. Still not looking.
I think I forgot. You distracted me. I forgot the order that I had them in.
Well, if you need to look, go ahead and look.
I'm looking. I'm putting them back where they go. Apologies. You'd think I would have done this before.
Well, we've never really done it live. Truly live.
Okay. Now they're in the same order.
Ready?
No.
Oh.
Here. There we go. Okay, now I'm ready.
Okay. And I almost tripped on this lazy Susan again.
That's why we don't have props.
Okay. So now I am moving some stuff around. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now is where we'll put our dots. We even do colors. Sarah's usually pink.
Not for any particular reason other than I've been assigned pink.
I'm green. We have orange underneath.
So A, B.
Oh,
Thank you.
Yep.
How polite.
Yep.
C.
Oh, wait. You were doing...
D.
I think...
Yes, you went backwards.
I did. Wait. This live stuff.
Wow.
Don't we go live once a week?
We do. And we've done, I don't know how many flight fights in our course of 4 years, but there's something about having a different setup
I think it's just...
that really gets you going.
I think it's just being... So you did that B for me, right?
I did.
I think it's just being on a live stream with so many prestigious names.
Yeah,
I mean,
y'all are intimidating.
we're the opening act for Fred Minnick.
Oh, so no pressure.
We gotta warm you up. I meant to go grab a sports coat so I could have put that on because I feel like he's gonna be rocking like a sports coat or something, you know. And,
You trying to match your friend?
well, I'm just saying, you know, warm up the crowd.
Right. Something else that's good to have on hand. We always have a full glass of water.
Mhm.
A lot of people will want crackers for as palate cleanser in between. So we'll keep those on standby. Something like this level, though, I don't personally feel like I need crackers in between. But yeah, it's up to you. However you want to cleanse your palate.
Yeah.
All
Tell
right.
you what, Sarah,
Let's get rid of that.
let's get rid of this,
Okay.
but let's not knock things over. Oh boy. And let's move it up a little bit. Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Ready?
Yes. A. And the other, I know what it is, Sarah. Normally on fly fights, I'm over here. You're over here.
Is that
But
what it
this
is?
is our setup for live. I'm on this side. You're on this side. But boy, oh boy. We also like to cover this up with our finger.
Just so there's no cheating because you
Just so there's
can
no
see
cheating.
through those dots.
Sometimes.
Let's admit,
Sometimes.
sometimes.
Oh, nuttiness. So if you guys are doing this at home with us, maybe you could have followed that game of cup and ball where we moved them around so
Yeah.
you still know what's what.
You might. After what I did
We
and
also
having
don't.
to go back, I don't think they followed. That was confusing even for me.
Well, that's fine. It's fine if we're in a different order, but
So yeah, I'm getting a little bit of nuttiness.
yeah.
Definitely like a light fruit, sweet, maybe a little bit of honey. What you doing?
I forgot. Come on.
Oh. Does that get you where
Flight
you need
fight.
to be for a flight fight?
Yep.
Good. Okay. I'm
It's
glad
Bourbon
we're
Night.
good.
Hello, I'm Chad. It's a flight
I'm Sarah,
fight.
and I'm ready to drink.
Let's drink. You know what? It's nutty.
I mean, and this is okay. So another thing that I end up falling into this pit, and you might find yourself there too, is when you are tasting things like, yes, we're doing this for the purpose of finding out what is our favorite amongst these with no preconceived notions, like taking all of our opinions out of it. However, we've been tasting for so long that I feel like I can pick up on some stuff now. So it's hard for me to not be like, oh, that's Jim Beam.
Right. And there are ones that are more characteristic like that, like Jim Beam and the nuttiness. There's a certain Heaven Hill profile. Definitely a Brown Foreman in like Old Forester products, Woodford Reserve. Yeah.
That stands out to us. So if I say, I'm feeling like this is that, at the end, I know me and I'm not going to let that impact the way I'm going to rank them.
I mean,
but it is something that you'll probably start to notice over time the more that you do flights. Yeah. We try real hard. That's nice and warm. I think the great thing about this flight, while it is, as you said, that step up from the distilleries, in their vertical to that next step, but they're all, the lowest is 86 proof. And then we got the highest at 101. So they're, it's a little wider than I would normally like that proof range to be.
Right.
But I think it works.
86, 90, 100, 101. Yeah.
So,
not a terrible
two that are close to,
difference, but yeah. And that's also where actually maybe you should consider doing sort of some proof variances, because a lot of times things can surprise you, especially in round 2. You can be like, I had this pegged for being like a low proof, but here it is at whatever, 110 or whatever it might be.
I like A. It has nice heat to it.
It's those classic flavors. It's giving you
a little hug. But we also don't like to put too much stock in A the first time around, because it can change. We also usually try to have a tiny sip of a control bourbon before we get into these, so that whatever we taste first isn't put at a disadvantage, if that makes any sense at all.
Well, let's expand on that just a little bit, Sarah. Like this going from 86 to 101. Our control bourbon, first of all, shouldn't be any of these.
Nope.
Probably anything from a distillery of these.
Yep.
Again, trying to keep it scientific. But something maybe like 95 proof, something kind of in that middle from a distillery that's not represented here. So maybe we could have grabbed like a Buffalo Trace. Well, they don't have anything in 95 proof, do they?
But you get what we're saying. Try to pick something that's not going to punch you one way or another.
We could have grabbed Eagle Rare 90 proof.
Yep.
That would have been a good, just to get that. It's like stretching before working out. All right.
Exactly.
Bourbon B. I feel like we're talking really fast.
I agree. Let's slow it down. Hey,
we're just happy to be here.
I think this will help us slow it down. I get more like toasted, dark, caramelized sugar notes on the nose with this one.
Yeah, I'm getting some barrel, but not like real deep barrel. Just like this.
Just like toasted.
Nice toasted barrel. Yeah. Also, we're coming off of A, so we're coming off of that flavor profile. You shouldn't sit here and ruminate too much on this first sip. In fact, it would be a good idea just to take a pretty tiny sip, the first sip, because you're going to want to let it sit for a second,
Get used to that transition.
Yeah, but then here's your real deciphering sip.
That has.
See, it's different now.
It is. It has some of those like brown sugar, caramel, toasted oak notes, but there's also
it's a little aggressive.
Something else in there. It's got a little bit with the heat. Huh? It has a little bit of oak, and there's a note of almost like medicinal cherry. I don't know. I feel like not that it tastes like medicine, but I don't know how else to describe that. It's a lot, really different from A.
It does. Yeah, I get that cherry kind of cherry cordial. It's not so much like heavy on chocolate, but there's maybe again it's that like Luxardo cherry juice. There is a deeper note than just like a cherry, Yeah, that's good. I like it. All right, Bourbon C. Moving on. Here we go.
The fruit.
A lot more fruity.
The fruit comes forward a lot more on this one.
Fruit forward.
Yeah. Orange zest, more cherry.
There's also other, nosing techniques. You can do the roll.
I've seen people do.
We like to call that the three. Well, I like to call that the 3 blast method.
The three blast method. Yeah, the roll. I've seen that. People will, you could do it. It's up to you.
Okay.
Is that a method?
No, not really. Oh,
mouthfeel on this one's really nice.
more oaky.
It is more oaky.
Stronger.
It does have a little bit more of a punch, but I feel like it kind of falls off just a little bit at the end. I don't know. It changes.
Well,
it kind of pivots a bit.
We are still, on that first sip.
We are on that first sip.
Going for that second sip, but I did get a pretty strong Kentucky hug right off the bat. Ooh, that's got
a little bit of a nuttiness in it too. Yeah.
On my side cheeks, I'm getting it.
And I think, the grain profile that's coming through, if I had to guess based on the heat, based on that little bit of nuttiness and that profile, I would guess that this was the Evan Williams bottled and bond. If gun to my head, had to guess.
But again, we're not here to try to guess.
No,
we're here to do the opposite.
Correct.
But you know what? How many times have we guessed and
it's been wrong?
We've been wrong.
That's what's funny too, is that you think that but
you have no idea. And we keep that stuff in the episode. We don't try to make ourselves look perfect. I'm the editor, but I leave that stuff in because I think it's funny. Hopefully you guys think it's funny.
Well, I think the thing about that is that, we're all like, even if you've been doing this for years, we're all just out here exploring. There's new things coming out every day and we're all just explorers of the whiskey world, right?
There you go. All right, Bourbon D.
This has the most unique nose.
This is that fruity floral. Again, not trying to guess, but if you all know what's back here, I think
we can put
if you're in the know together. But again, that's just off a nose.
Right.
Ooh, it's nice though. A little more muted, little kind of almost drier.
It has a very specific spice note. It almost reminds me of a licorice.
Second sip. Not that I don't agree with you, but I'm going to get that second sip in there. I'm kind of getting a combination of a clove and cinnamon.
Yeah.
Kind of mashup.
But I'm getting like a dark, I don't know, like a black licorice or something like that coming through.
I see
just
it more
a little bit
on the second sip. Yeah. And it's starting to actually bring some heat this time. Yeah. Front the middle part of the tongue.
Well,
hey, we went through a round.
We've got some time left.
We do.
So normally we would do a round 2. Then we would do our ranking.
So
and at that point we would.
Yeah. Here's the importance of taking a break. So when you're at home doing this yourself and you're not on the clock, go and take 20 minutes, 30 minutes, however long, if you're doing like barrel proofs.
Yeah.
Or if you have like,
especially if you're doing barrel
5
proofs.
instead of 4, go and take 30 minutes or more. Maybe don't eat anything besides just like crackers. Cover them up, You
could use coasters.
Yeah.
If you don't have
challenge coins.
Challenge coins, yeah.
From whiskeyambitions.com. Or any of the other YouTubers. A lot of YouTubers have challenge coins. You get yourself your Pappy Van Winkle Buffalo Trace coaster. It's got to be that.
It doesn't.
And then you can just
something that kind of,
if you get them close enough or it's a big enough coaster, you could probably cover 2.
Yeah, efficiency.
But you don't want too much of that to change from opening up in the glass. So, just kind of try to arrest that, if you will.
But these are, a lower proof range. We're more familiar with these. So I think that, and in the interest of time, we will unfortunately not be able to do our round 2 today, but we will just go right into our one-on-one ranking, where we'll try not to talk to each other about how we feel about these.
But we always do.
We always end up doing that.
Yeah. So this is what this would be after round 2. Round 2 is really important because things always change. You can go an opposite way if you want, but since we know we're going to be doing A/B testing after round 2, we just start back up with A, and things always change. Let's just do A, just A.
Okay.
See, from memory, this is a lot different tasting than it
a
was.
little. It's different. Like the nuttiness is still there, but I'm picking it up differently.
It's a little bit more muted.
It's more muted. It's a little more like going the direction of like maybe
Musty.
almond and musty.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Almond butter.
Mm.
It does kind of have like this.
Yeah.
I mean,
there.
not mouthfeel wise, like buttery, but there is like a residual of like almond butter kind of going on.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do this.
Yeah. Okay. So normally you would take a break, you come back, you do round 2. Then we do what we call A/B testing, where you've only had it A, B, C, D. Then you'll start, I don't know, I want to try B and D against each other. I want to try A and C, whatever.
So I'm going to go off and do that.
You do that.
Because we've got, 10 minutes, roughly.
Uh-huh.
And I want to give these people an answer as to what I think.
They can handle the truth.
They can handle the truth.
They can handle the truth. I applaud your truth handling skills.
So when you're thinking about putting flights together, if you're doing this for a group, maybe you're just doing this at home with a friend, like we said, we had a theme in mind when we grouped these. There's lots of different themes that you could choose. You could do one solely based on proof or type. So you could do a bottled and bond flight. That would be fun and would be relatively inexpensive. If you stuck to under $30, you'd have plenty of options. Let's see. You could do a distillery vertical flight. So maybe you want to find out what's your favorite attainable product from Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
Or if you're a Rare Bird 101, maybe you want to find out your favorite wild turkey product. I don't know.
I'm sure he knows that.
Sure.
It's Russell's Reserve single barrel picks.
I'm sure.
That he picks.
Which are quite good.
We also want to say we were glad to see Wild Turkey 101 come up in
the sleeper.
In the sleeper bourbons. That seemed to be a agreed upon selection. Oh man, this is tough. Especially
I'm gonna rank these over to the
especially
side.
live.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do it.
I can do it. I have confidence.
It's crazy.
But yeah, you could do wine finished. You could do all barrel proofs. You could do at a price point. Like there's lots of different ways that you could set up a flight. I just think having a theme is fun and it helps you narrow down those picks and kind of make the playing field more even.
I'll tell you one fun story. My buddy Kevin
I like this story.
got married at Buffalo Trace Distillery. So he was trying to decide what Buffalo Trace products to carry at the bar. So he picked, some probably about 4 or 5 Buffalo Trace bourbons and invited everyone who was in the wedding. I was in the wedding over and we're going to try them. And I was like, hell, hold on. Let's do this blind. Truly no. And I kid you not, everyone there said, well, here's going to be my order. It's going to be Blanton's, then it's going to be Eagle Rare, then it's going to be Buffalo Trace, and then it's going to be Ancient Age. I guess there was 4. I can't remember.
Which was another one on the sleeper list.
Yeah, that's right. Ancient Age. 90 proof. It's good. So, okay, cool. So we all did a blind, and then we revealed 4 out of the 5 of us picked Ancient Age first. And Blanton's was like second, third, like people were just blown away. They were completely wrong about their guessing. They were going with, well, Blanton's, that's $60.
It's the most expensive. It's the hardest to find.
It's coveted of those, So yeah, just take the guesswork out of it and do it blind.
This is the boring part where we think. But if you guys are doing this along with us, hopefully that you're also,
you need some time to think. This is why we cut this part out of the episodes.
C is really, well, I'm not supposed to tell you.
Tell them.
I don't want to influence you.
I put these back the wrong way.
C is really growing on me.
Oh boy.
It's a big day for you.
Mm-hmm.
I like A though too. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm having a hard time.
This is tough.
Another tip, the more you go back and forth in A/B test, the more fatigued your palate will get. So when it comes down to the end and you're almost out of what's in your glass, I always remind Chad, go with your first instinct. Go with your gut.
I say trust your second round a little bit more than your first. But yeah, trust your gut. Because if you just keep going back and forth, like I'm out, fill me up more, which I did back in the early days in one flight fight. I was like, Sarah, I drank all of this one. I don't know. Will you go fill this up for me? I won't look.
And that, yeah.
Okay.
As you can imagine, those episodes got a little.
That was for our first episode, though. That was our 50 bourbons under $25.
We were just babies.
And I was all tore up that I didn't pick Buffalo Trace first. and I second guessed myself. I originally. Oh, okay.
Do you have an order?
No. Do you?
I'm getting there.
Oh no. Okay. Well, boy. It's my first day here. Sorry.
Okay, I see.
Okay.
All right, I've picked my first place. Now I'm just trying to decide what comes in second and what comes in third. So I can be done whenever you're ready.
Sure. Now our arbitrary little system is we normally will move one up here on the mat. That's like, this would be edging towards first, or
sort of like a horse race.
Yeah. Hey. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Derby.
I'm doing it on the side today because it just doesn't feel like enough room. No, I forgot which one I just tasted.
Haha, it worked. Kind of feeling that. And sorry that the end of this is just a lot of us drinking.
Yep.
And not talking.
I have my answer.
She has her answer. I mean, without a round two.
Now I'll enjoy a cracker when it's arbitrary and means nothing. What do you think, Em?
Well, I kind of got two fighting for first. Now I'm going to pair the other two that aren't fighting for first.
Okay. You have 7 minutes.
Okay.
And not even 7 minutes, because I heard there will be a question.
Hopefully there's some questions.
Somebody's got to keep them on track.
Okay. I'm almost there, folks. Regale them with a tale, Sarah.
Oh, goodness. Well,
talk about your experience with flight fights, like from the early days to now. What have you learned?
I mean, I've definitely learned that, that I don't love everything that I think I love. I'm trying to think of what like the biggest unseating was for me.
Taste change.
Right. And that's a great point. Actually, I like that point better. Speaking of Wild Turkey 101, when we first started doing the show, and when we first started hanging out, even just like talking about doing the show, it was about 5 years ago. And both of us thought that we didn't like Turkey 101.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it just hadn't grown on us at that point, or if we just weren't ready to take that step. And that's a lot of what I've learned through doing this, is that you have to introduce the right things to people at the right time. There are some outliers. You know, I do have a friend who started on Wild Turkey 101, and that's what they've always loved. And that's pretty impressive. But yeah, when we first started, we weren't a fan. And then we revisited it about a year later in a flight fight, and we picked it. And I was like,
blind, of course.
Whoa, I thought I didn't like this. And I'm happy to like it because it is so readily available. It is so affordable, and it's a great proof, at a great price.
Yeah. And the other thing is also bourbons can tend to change.
Can change. I know there was a while there where we really loved a bottle of Noah's Mill, and then it, the juice changed. Just
the batching of it, or it's a non-age stated, so those maybe can be more open to changing because they can maybe drop the age of the barrels that are in the blend, or what have you. But yeah,
it's good to revisit things over time.
Definitely revisit things. If you can call out your top 5 emphatically, well, go put it to the test.
I think you should.
Maybe take one of those top 5, introduce 3 others, do a flight fight. Take another one of those top 5, do the same thing, introduce 3 new ones. See if it always comes out on top or not.
Yep.
I think I have an order. I'm just going to go ahead and call it. This. Oh, and here's another thing, Sarah.
They want the results, Chad.
Things next to each other can influence things differently.
That's a great point.
And
on that note, I will say, if we had all the time in the world, I would recommend doing this same. If it's a very important flight fight to you, I would recommend doing the test more than once on a different day, because as they say, your mood can affect it, what you had to eat. Yes. How long ago did you brush your teeth? Like a lot of things can impact what you choose. And so sometimes just a one-off flight may not be the most reliable.
Absolutely.
But for the most part, it's steered us right so far.
All right, Sarah, what's your first place?
My first place.
Your last place, sorry.
My last place is Bourbon D.
Okay, I put that third.
It looks like our third and fourth are flip-flopped.
Okay, so I put A last, you put A third, You put D last. I put D third.
Yes. So let's just go ahead and reveal those two.
Okay. What's
D.
your last?
My last place is Four Roses Small Batch.
My third place. My last place is, Jim Beam Black. Okay, so we've got the two high proofs fighting for first. Not unusual.
Shocker
if you
for us.
know our channel. What did you put in first place?
I put C.
I put B.
Okay.
So we're flip-flopped
We're
again.
flip-flopped.
All right, let's do your first place. My second place is
Evan Williams Bottled and Bond,
which makes
Did I not say that it was?
Chad's first
Heaven
place is Wild Turkey 101.
And I put it in second, and I had to go back
Not that
and
I
forth.
was rooting for it, but
No.
that makes sense.
I did have to go back and forth between them multiple times to figure that out. But
And once you start A/B testing like that, back and forth, you lose. You couldn't at that point, if you hadn't remembered, say, I think this is Evan Williams. I think this. I never knew what Wild Turkey was.
listen,
I thought I knew what Beam was. I thought I knew what Evan Williams was.
yeah, I never knew which one was turkey.
Again, you try not to bring that into account, but that's.
But there you go. I'm
what you do.
super thrilled with my first and second. I liked both of them a lot. I mean, I liked all four of these. This is the one where I hate to say it came in last. It came in fourth. It was ranked fourth. It's not last. I didn't dislike any of these.
We also say the Four Roses is very unique, and when you put it in the lineup of other things, it
can stand out because of its unique.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So there we go.
There we go. The flight fight,
That was fun.
as we like to do it, done right.
Mm-hmm.
What we've learned throughout the years. Hopefully, yours went well.
I think it was done right. That was awesome, Chad and Sarah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I do have one question as we were coming through here. Plus, I want to give a shout out to some people that were kind of following along. Paul Clark said he went Wild Turkey, Four Roses, Evan Williams, and Beam.
Okay.
Nice.
Pretty similar.
Jack was close. Evan Williams, Four Roses, Wild Turkey, JBB.
Nice.
All right.
And Brent Bailey said number one was JB Black.
Huh?
See?
Yeah,
See?
I mean,
It's not going to be the same for everybody.
It's of course not. Yeah. That's cool.
Now, one of the things that you talked about at the very beginning, you're talking about the different glassware.
Yeah.
And Sarah, you held up a red Solo cup. What's wrong with the red Solo cup?
Nothing.
If that's all you have, you can make it work. The nice thing about this actually is if you're doing something where the color variation between what you're trying, like if you can tell, this would take that out of it. You're not going to have the best nosing experience, but that's up to you.
I would still do my still
He
use
loves
a
Post-its
nice
today.
nosing glass, but I don't know. This is probably gonna suck, but
It's really noisy.
I don't know. Something like that.
This is what we have, folks. This is what we got.
Technology.
You just got to use what tools are available
Here's what
to you.
tools you have.
No, nothing's wrong with the red Solo cup if you're at a tailgate.
Well, that's awesome. So if you're watching this right now, whether you're on the Bourbon Pursuit channel or if you're on the Fred Stream or Fred Minnick channel, make sure you go and check out It's Bourbon Night and their YouTube channel. Follow them because they do all kinds of, tell everybody what kind of stuff you all do, because you do blind flights, you do bottle openings. Like, tell everybody what you're doing.
Yeah, our uncorking is kind of like our review show. That's where we
Like
pop,
our unboxing.
Yeah, an unboxing. We pop the cork on a fresh pour,
bottle.
so it's like a neck pour review. We do the flight fights. We kind of have started doing baking,
Mhm.
what we call Eat More Bourbon. We do Drink More Bourbon cocktails. So like a lot of people, we try to just dip our toe into anything related to bourbon, American rye.
Well, fantastic. So thank you all once again for coming on and doing this. Hopefully your quarantine's been not so bad with today then.
Not terrible. No, it's been pretty good.
It's been a great day. Thank you for having us
Thank
so
you.
much, and everyone else involved. This has been an awesome, awesome event.
Yeah. And thanks for drinking along.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cheers, Chad and Sarah. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.